Guys, what is going on? Welcome back. It's Bronte.
What's poppin'? It's Becca.
And we've got a special one for you today.
Wait. Read the quote first before you tell them our topic.
Oh, okay.
Wait, they're gonna know our topic.
Oh, yeah, in the title.
That's right. Just read them.
I'll read it anyway.
Sorry.
All right. So this is a quote from Horatio Jones, and I really loved this quote when I saw it. It says, "You have to remember that when someone is giving you a second chance, you need to have some patience. You might need to chill the hell out every now and then. You can't rush forgiveness and acceptance. You can't make someone feel comfortable. You can't force them to take your word for it again. Remember, you effed up, and this person is brave enough to risk looking stupid over you all over again. It's never easy, so the next time you get upset at them for struggling with believing you, remember that you damaged your credibility. Now chill out."
Now chill out.
Loved that quote.
I do like that quote a lot.
It's a real thing. Second chances is our topic today, guys. So it can go for friends and relationships and family members.
Yeah.
Whatever situation. But I guess to start out, do you believe in second chances?
I do.
Is there like a line?
Part. I think there is a line. Everyone's line is different. Like, you might be giving that person a second chance, and I might think, like, oh, no, I would never give them a second chance. I think everyone's different, and this goes along with setting boundaries as well. Mm-hmm. But I think the most important thing, like, out of your quote, it's your decision to give them a second chance. You are in control.
Yeah,
They're true. Not in control of the situation. You're in control. And if you're going to give them a second chance, it's going to be on your terms, not theirs.
Yeah, that's so true. It takes a lot to give it to them.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you're giving up a piece of yourself to do that, but you're putting it all out on the line for that person, because there's something in you that does believe that they deserve it.
So you do believe in second chances?
I do. I believe that not... I feel like
Are you tearing up?
A little bit.
Oh, Bronte.
A little bit, because I think I'm thinking back because I've given a lot of people second chances when it comes to friendships and relationships. Yeah. And this isn't to sound bad. A lot of the time, I get screwed over in the process, and that just makes me learn for the third time. Yeah. But I don't want to regret not giving one to them because I don't feel like all the time people should live with that mistake and fall and never get back up again. I feel like they can prove themselves.
Yeah.
I do burn myself a lot, but like at the same time, I feel like I would regret it if I didn't. But I feel like there are lines more so in a relationship, I am stricter in that sense. I think like I have to look at the whole picture.
Yeah. And
look at my worth, and is it something that they could have realized in the beginning? Like they shouldn't have just done it, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like it really is.
I think people know what they're doing.
No, I believe that.
And I think that, we're human. Mm-hmm. And I think the most important thing that I want to say out of this episode is when you mess up, you want other people to give you a second chance, right? Mm-hmm. We're all human. We all mess up. I'm not saying, like, I'm going to sit here and go cheat like some people do. But, I make mistakes. But if I always think, like, if I don't give them a second chance, how do I expect other people to give me a second chance? Mm-hmm. Not saying there's a third, fourth, fifth, all that chances.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when giving second chances, a lot of the time we don't want to we want to prove that that person is a good person.
Yeah.
But I think they're given because we want to allow that person who did mess up to learn after their mistakes. We're giving them a chance to learn. Can we ourselves, who are giving that chance or that second chance, handle it and heal from that? Can we or are we going to just hold it against them? And that's not fair either.
But also it's, like I said before, it's like your decision, you're in control, but going off of what you said, they don't get to decide how long it takes you to heal. Mm-hmm. And that's a big mistake. People, they're like, oh, just get over it. And I'm like, you can't just get over things. If it was that easy, then nobody would be hurt. But if you did that to them, would they give you a second chance?
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of the time I do look at that too. Would this person give me a second chance as well?
It's usually not, because a lot of people are selfish.
Yeah, and it does take a lot of energy to deal with that, like when you get bitten.
Yeah.
Like, again, when you give that second chance, like, sometimes you're like, oh, well, I should have realized the first time. But honestly, can you look at yourself being a bad person in that, or do you find peace within yourself giving that person a second chance, even though they still proved you wrong?
Yeah.
But it does take a lot. It takes a lot of kindness, strength, patience. If you are the one who messed up, you need to appreciate that second chance. And you
don't take it for granted, because not a lot of people give second chances, or third, or fourth, or in my case, like 20th.
Because you guys need to work towards something, whether you are in a relationship, and if you have kids, if it's a family relationship,
yeah,
even if it's friendships. I think there's like a unity that needs to happen. But in the beginning, I've seen it before, like, where I think that this person's never going to give that other person a second chance, and they do. Mm-hmm. But those beginning stages are awful to see, because that person is still healing, but they still found strength to forgive their partner, and then their partner's just so frustrated, because you can understand that you feel that they are sorry and they messed up, but you understand it's weird. You understand both sides. You see it, and it's so hard because you feel for the person who offered a second chance and they're still healing, and then the person who just so desperately wants it to go back to how it was.
But it can really never usually go back.
Yep. And when you tarnish something like that, it'll never go back to the way it was. There's always that sensitivity there. Mm-hmm. And this is not just for relationship guys, it's for friendships. I mean, I know I've been burnt by a lot of friends. And I do give a lot of friends second chances. And I think when I look back, I'm just like, did they even deserve that second chance? Did I even deserve what they did to me?
Yeah.
To give them a second chance? And that took me a while, but I always hold them at an arm's length. There's always that piece of me that's just like, what makes me think you can't do that again later on in life? But then, like, I don't want to completely lose the friendship. We've had better times than...
You definitely have to weigh your pros and cons. Mm-hmm. And maybe, don't sit here and make a life-changing decision and give somebody a second chance. Take a day or two to think about it. You don't owe them a second chance right away. Mm-hmm. They can wait because they messed up. And also, I think after you give them a second chance, if you decide to or whatever, I think the most important question you should ask yourself are they showing a change? Mm-hmm. Are they changing? Are they sorry? Or are they sorry that they got caught in their church trying to sweep it under the rug?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important after you give a second chance. Because if they're, you know what I mean? Like, if they're not changing and doing what needs to be changed for their second chance, then you should just cut it off, because they didn't care in the first place, and they still don't care.
Mm-hmm. Watch their, along with the actions, watch what they say to you after as well.
And how they treat you.
Because, again, they can take that for granted. It's like, well, I mean, obviously everything's okay. You said everything's fine. I'm like, it's like, okay, I said I'm going to give you another chance, but things are not fine.
They're not.
They are not.
They just want it to be fine because they just don't want to deal with what they did to you.
I think when they embrace the emotions, they're willing to talk about it, no matter how many times that person needs to talk about it, like what happened, and get to the root problem. That shows a lot for me. Yeah. If they're just, again, like you said, sweeping it under the rug and just like being like, no, it's fine. You said you forgive me. We're not talking about this again.
Yeah, then you need to cut that person off because they have some serious issues.
Yeah, like you're not caring.
Yeah.
Like you're like disregarding me, like you disregarded and how you disrespected me, and get into this second chance in the first place.
So again, you're going back to, have they changed? What have they done to change? How have they changed? What work have they, I mean, what, why, when, all those, you put it right in front of changing. And if they haven't done anything, then on to the next. No, and also, how many chances are you going to give somebody with the same problem?
I want to say more so when I was younger, I would have given more than what I'd like to. But nowadays, I'm very limited.
Yep. You run out of the time and energy to keep giving people second chances.
Because it took me a long time to get to that point. Like, no, I'm worth it. I know what my worth is. And people should realize before they even make the mistake what this is going to cost them.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it more and more all the time. And then sometimes I reflect back on myself. Like, am I being unfair on myself? It's like, no, I'm protecting myself.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised at myself nowadays, like what I'm realizing and what friends are worth it, what relationships are worth it, what people are worth it. Because second chances are like so valuable. Like,
and when you take the value out of that, then that's when it's really sad.
When you put the work into a second chance, I feel like it's worth it. I've seen amazing things happen with second chances, but if you just think very little of that, you're not deserving of that person in your life, like, at all.
And it's crazy once, if you don't give somebody a second chance or you do, they always realize too late.
Way too late.
Way too late. It might just be like a couple weeks go by and you give them a second chance and they're like, oh, I'm going to change. And then a couple weeks later and you're just like, I don't even want you to change because I don't want you anymore.
No.
Whether that's a relationship, family member, friendship, whatever, coworker as well. I mean, I've dealt with that, but it's just, you have to put boundaries up and you have to respect yourself. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's your decision. You're in control.
Yeah,
of the situation. So
so don't think you're weak giving second chances. You are definitely vulnerable, because even you being willing to give a second chance out is, the kindness and the strength to even do that and the patience that it would require. It takes a lot, but don't take anything that further, that makes you feel like belittled or anything like that. Know your signs when you're just being taken advantage of and you just feel like your second chance was just wasted.
Yeah.
Understand the signs because they are probably clear as day. Your mind tells you.
Yep. And understand when you give somebody a second chance doesn't mean that you have to let them in your life again. You know what I mean? Like, you can give them a second chance to prove themselves, but like you said, you can still keep an arm's distance. It might not go back to being best friends, but you could be like friends maybe. You know what I mean? Or
yeah, there's that relationship it's never going to be the same. Like, I caught up this past weekend with a friend and him and I went through a couple things and it's made me realize is that even worth it?
Trying to pursue something.
Yeah. And I told him because he opened up to me and he was like, I realize that now. And I'm like, you are 3 years too late.
Too late.
We're going to be friends. We clearly have a good connection and a good friendship, but I'm realizing now or I have that people that give me up too easily, people that burn me too easily, they think I'm just gonna not care.
Or you're gonna come back on their time frame.
Yes!
No, absolutely.
Oh, Bronte won't care. I hear that all the time.
Bronte will come back when, she's done her little thing. That's not gonna happen.
She's nice enough. She won't mind. No.
I've seen you be a savage. I love that word.
Savage. I can be. And I'm not afraid to say to people I don't trust you. I can be someone's friend, but I cannot trust you at the same time.
Yeah.
As well. We are not the same. And because of that one blip in time when we could have handled it better, or it could have been handled better.
Better, yeah.
And it's also empowering as well because you are limiting your group and the people that you find most valuable in your life. I think that's what I've learned.
It's part of growing up.
It is. It's hard. You want to be you just want to accept everyone and you're yay, love me. And I love you. You just want to be in this perfect pink little bubble. No, world's not like that. It sucks.
Yeah, so.
But, I mean, it is difficult, guys. So if you do get burned on second chances, don't blame yourself too much for giving them out. It takes a lot for a person to do that.
It does.
And it takes a lot to hear, you were stupid for doing that. Or you should have known better. It's yeah, but would I have regretted not doing that? I think I look at it more. Because I feel I'm strong enough now to do that.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to live in regret, but you also don't want to hurt yourself even more. So it's at that fine line, I think. But I do believe in second chances. But it depends.
Depends.
So don't screw us over, guys. That's what we're basically trying to say.
You're lucky you just got a first chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Most of these guys.
Know the value of your first chance.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps filter out people.
Yep, that's true.
And, like, when people act dumb, that pisses me off.
I can't.
Like, when they're like...
I can't.
So why are you acting different? I'm like, oh, do you want to recap what we went through?
Do you want to recap? They hate when you recap. They get so mad.
Yeah, they're like, oh, why didn't you come to this? Why don't you want to hang out? Why don't you want to do this, 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 and this? I'm like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
I have forgiven you. It's just not the same as it was.
Yeah.
You can forgive, but you can never forget. And that just goes back to it.
I agree.
And don't blame yourself don't think of yourself as a horrible person not giving a second chance. It's a form of protection.
It is.
And people can come back years later and prove themselves.
What
did I tell you? People don't change that fast.
They don't change that fast. Yep, you're right.
It doesn't happen in a blink of an eye. Oh, he's perfect. Like,
get out of here.
Like the next morning, like it never happened. I'm like, you guys are psycho. Like, what? But it takes time to prove.
It does.
So worship your second chances. Put them on like a pedestal in like a glass box and don't F it up if that person's worth it to you. Because it just sucks.
It does. And there's consequences. And they're lifelong consequences. Mm-hmm. So
it's almost like I have a tally book, like with a name on each page, and I have like,
okay,
like
this person got 3 chances. Screw it.
It's like what do you call them? Like algorithm?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it worth this many times they've burnt me, but they were nice to me this many times.
Oh my god.
Do they deserve a second chance in Bronte's eyes? No, I'm not like that. I'm usually like a feeling sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, I mean, I hope this helped, guys, because
this was nice, short and sweet. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just gotta know what you want. Mm-hmm. Do you want to give a second chance? Do you not? So,
Yep.
But
and learning how to deal with it, I think too, when they prove you wrong, like again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all right, guys. I hope this was a nice one to hear for this week. But again, we are everywhere and anywhere. On Facebook, Instagram, what else am I missing? Twitter, TikTok.
We have a TikTok.
Yes, Becca mans it. Like, our fun. It's just our fun times.
Yeah.
We just have fun.
We just do random stuff. But follow us, send us messages, and it's back and I'm popping off.
And this is Bronte, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.